In today's really weird, fucked up world, movie marketing hardly has the same influence as it once did, not just for movies, but specifically horror movies. Horror is somewhat rooted in the art of shock value and keeping an audience's attention, which is essential for marketing. Horror movies are often made on table scraps because they don't get a lot of funding. Usually, the people making the movie have to think somewhat creatively, which means cutting costs on things like marketing. Today's video is not necessarily meant to pick apart and poke fun at all of the bad forms of horror movie. Mostly, I want to thrust us into the mind of what these marketing executives are thinking, Meet Dave style. Maybe Inside Out is like a more apt comparison. But let's think, how would you market certain movies? Why did this marketing strategy work and this one didn't? Will we find out the answer to these questions? I don't know. Trailers tend to be the way that movies market themselves the most efficiently, and while I do think that they work, I also think that horror movie trailers tend to be either very bad or stinky feet tier. It always starts off really happy, you know? Yippee, 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 and then cut to something fucking terrifying. If it's from Blumhouse, you know that they're going to be thrown in from the producers of Get Out or from the producers of The Purge because they still have not stopped milking the Get Out cow since it came out. A huge problem that I have with trailers, specifically when it comes to horror movies, is that they are typically misleading or they spoil the entire film. As I already mentioned, Get Out has a notoriously awful trailer that spoils a lot of key moments in the movie. The trailer for Wreck also spoils a lot of the movie and the last shot of the movie of her being dragged away. Crimson Peak, which is very peak and also very crimson. It has a trailer that would make you think the movie would have a lot of ghouls, goblins, and ghosts, but in reality, the movie has a lot of goblin dicks and boobs. It's the stupidest shit I've ever written. I think one of the most misleading horror movie trailers of all time is It Comes at Night. The movie is a lot more reeled back than the trailer lets on, and it is much more of a psychological horror than a monster movie that the trailer sort of sets it up as. Spoiler alert, you never actually know what it is in It Comes at Night. It relies so much on building the mystery of what it is. It comes. The trailer even ends with the door opening, and it cuts before the reveal of what is behind the door. It is so manipulative, and it makes you think the movie is going to be something completely different. It is so disgusting that they did that. It is so. And don't get me started on the millennial classic Kangaroo Jack, which is one of the biggest crimes committed by man. Like, are you really going to market this towards children and have the titular character and the character on the poster be in the movie for only 5 fucking minutes? The funny rapping kangaroo is in the movie for 5 minutes in a dream sequence, and it's not even like the whole point of the movie. It has nothing to do with the kangaroo. That right there is what I call a kangaroo robbery. My friend Zach and I, we were both very excited about this movie that came out earlier this year called Longlegs. We both went in with very high expectations, and as the movie went along, our enjoyment of it kind of dwindled. What gave us these high hopes was specifically the trailer, which was amazing, and the website, which was also amazing. The trailer had really offered this sense and vibe of an analog horror that we have not seen yet. The fact that they hid a lot of Nicolas Cage in the trailers and all of the marketing was a bold move, but it definitely paid off because that's all that people talked about when it came to that movie. And the website, like I said, had a lot to dig through when it came to all of the mystery that was going on with the whole movie. All of this kind of led to a promise of a movie that would be disturbing, genuinely disturbing and perhaps traumatizing, but it wasn't for the most part, at least for me. And you know I love a good traumatizing experience from time to time because I will willingly watch The Love Guru. While I don't think that the marketing for Long Legs was a failure, I actually think it was quite the opposite. It did its job and it got a lot of people in the theaters to see it. I think the only thing I would change maybe is like at the end when it says like in theaters July 12th, it should add a little note that says like except for Seth, don't spend your money on this. You probably won't like it. Spend that money on Galaxy Gas instead. Let's stop with the cynicism. Let's stop with the negativity. This is a happy channel. We're happy here.
We're all happy.
Not gonna lie. This is totally me when I'm happy. Smile from a couple of years ago had one of the coolest and simplest marketing techniques I have ever seen.
So, hey, there's a new horror movie coming out next week. It's called Smile. You may have also seen this if you were watching baseball games over the weekend. Paramount apparently paid for actors to sit behind home plate at big league golf ballparks.
This kind of marketing is essentially like super cheap, but it filled up time slots on news stations for completely free. Paranormal Activity kind of started the trend of putting people's reactions to the movie in the trailer. And everyone that's seeing the trailer is like, oh my god, I want to be in night vision. I want to be in night vision. The remake of The Ring from 2002 had this crazy marketing technique where they took the tape from said film and they would leave it on people's cars and people's doorsteps. Since the tape was unmarked, it spread so much word of mouth about this creepy ass, cryptic ass, weird tape. Funnily enough, I actually own one of the copies that was being spread around during this whole marketing campaign. This thing was a tough find, but totally worth it, honestly. It's kind of a cool get. Arguably one of the most creative and influential marketing campaigns for horror movies, but maybe even movies overall, is for the 1999 classic The Blair Witch Project. The creators of the movie created this website which chronicles all of the lore and all of the information about the movie as if the movie really happened, as if this footage was actually found, and as if the actors and the people in the movie actually went missing. This bolstered the movie into having the perception of it being real, which is super helpful considering it's a found footage movie. To this day, we don't know what the fuck happened to Josh. Bro's still standing in the corner.
Shaggy, what are you doing in the corner?
I'm scared, man!
Horror movies always will have an uphill battle to fight when it comes to getting butts in seats. For one, they have to create some buzz that makes it worth it so that people come to see their movie. More importantly, they have to make it so that the buzz that they created didn't make the audience feel cheated when experiencing the movie. And horror movies honestly struggle with this the most, considering that most horror movies aren't palatable for today's general audiences. The marketing has to be weird so that it attracts people in, but not too weird that it alienates a large crowd of people and make no money. From what we've learned today, I genuinely don't think that you can get too weird when marketing a horror movie. Horror is a weird genre. It delves into topics and discussions that the general public isn't really comfortable talking about most of the time. So why not make it fucking weird? Put scary demons in the McDonald's play place and use that to market the next Conjuring movie. Go back to the 50s when William Castle was putting skeletons in the theaters that would fly at you during some scary scenes within the movie. It's these crazy high concept hijinks that really sets the horror movie genre apart from other genres. But that's it. Let me know some of your favorite ways that a movie has been marketed, and what are some things you'd like to see changed in the future of marketing. You know, I think while we've got this tape, we should just see what's on it. I've never watched it, so I'm going to put it in. I think we should watch it. It'd be interesting. Let's try it out. Holy shit!